Minors raped and hung on a tree. Sheer brutality there for all to see. Families cry till their tears run dry. No more smoke and mirrors, no more lies. Give them truth, give them justice, give them closure, give them resolution, give them faith in our constitution. Give them an answer to the burning question. What is this country that we live in? In support of justice for the families of the girls raped and killed in Badaयूं, Uttar Pradesh. Well, you're watching The Buck Stops Here. This evening, politicians come in for flying visits to Badaयूं after the media outrage following the rape and murder of the two teenagers whose bodies were found hanging from a mango tree. As the UP government claims it is doing its best to tackle rape cases and assaults on women in the state, we look at these visits of politicians. Do these visits post a tragedy really change the ground reality?
जब तक न्याय नहीं मिलता ये सब जो आ जा रहे हैं उनका कोई फायदा नहीं।
कोई मुझे विश्वास तभी हासिल होगा जब न्याय मुझे मिलेगा। कहना चाहता हूँ जैसे मेरी बच्चियों को लटकाया गया इसी तरह से उन मुद्दों को लटका के फांसी चाहिए।
We want justice, not compensation. That's the demand from the families of two Badaयूं teenagers who were raped and hanged. Under pressure to act, the Akhilesh government says it is ready for a CBI probe, a day after it announced 5 lakh rupees as compensation.
अखिलेश यादव से कुछ कहना चाहेंगे? उन्होंने compensation भी दिया आपको, वो कह रहे हैं fast track inquiry भी कराएंगे।
इंक्वायरी अखिलेश ये सरकार का मुझे भरोसा होता तो मेरी लड़की उसी वक्त मिल जाती।
All 5 named accused in the case have been arrested and politicians have been making a beeline for the village.
Katra village has seen several VIP visits across the political spectrum in the past few days. On the 4th day of the horrific crime came the turn of Rahul Gandhi. The Congress Vice President criticized severely for his silence in the aftermath of December 16th gang rape, did not give this one a miss. He met with the victim's family for over 30 minutes and gave them his assurance for speedy justice.
महिला की इज्जत की कोई कीमत नहीं होती है। यहाँ पे न्याय की जरूरत है और जो आपने सीबीआई इंक्वायरी की बात की है उससे मैं सहमत हूँ।
But not everyone in the village is convinced by these assurances.
न्याय मिल पाएगा लेकिन मिलेगा कैसे? अखिलेश यादव कहते हैं कि ये मीडिया वालों से कि आपके घर पे तो नहीं हुआ, आप तो सुरक्षित हैं। जब ऐसा ही था, अगर हमारे लोगों के साथ हुआ है ऐसे इन लोगों के साथ होता या अखिलेश के घर पे होता तो इन्हें कैसा लगता? बुरा लगता। जैसे मेरे दिल में आग भड़क रही है ऐसे अगर इनके दिल में आग भड़क रही होती तो मेरे बिरादरी या अन्य जाति किसी जाति के घर पे आग लगा दी जाती।
Meanwhile, the political blame game over the rape is getting shriller. Union Minister Uma Bharti has now launched a frontal attack on Samajwadi Party chief Mulayam Singh Yadav.
मुलायम सिंह का खुद का बयान और उत्तर प्रदेश की सरकार में कई जो मंत्री हैं और मुख्यमंत्री स्वयं हैं उनकी जो बातें हैं वो बलात्कारियों के हौसले बुलंद कर रही हैं।
This almost unassuming Katra village in the hinterlands of western UP has never seen so many VIP visits, nor has it witnessed such excessive media coverage. But the caste lines here run deep, as does a sense of elation. It is perhaps for this reason that the villagers are now left asking, despite all the political promises, will justice be served? With camera person Azam in UP, I'm Sonal Mehrotra, NDTV.
All right, so lots of high-profile visits to Badaयूं today. Does it really make any difference on the ground? Who are our politicians or our political class trying to reach out to? Are they trying to reach out to the people on the ground? Because a lot of people would say that those people who've suffered so much would have been better served had there been justice in the first place. Joining us, Gaurav Bhatia, head of the legal cell of the Samajwadi Party, Pinky Anand, spokesperson of the BJP, Rita Bahuguna Joshi, leader of the Congress Party. Rita Bahuguna Joshi, ma'am, let me come to you first. When the protests were taking place earlier on in Vijay Chowk after the Nirbhaya episode, where was Rahul Gandhi then? What has changed from then to now, whereby he now believes it is his prerogative to travel to Badaयूं to be with the families.
Please try to understand and don't link up events and incidents. Rahul Gandhi has always been wherever there has been a requirement, if you remember, in UP, wherever there had been a rape or there had been crime against women, he was always there. He was in Lakhimpur, he was in Fatehpur, he was in Banda. That time the BJP was nowhere, others were nowhere. So don't say this. He had his compulsions, his mother was not well, she was being treating abroad, you know this, and then she came back. They met the Bedi family not once, at least 3 times, and they ensured justice. And we find that it was after that case when the entire nation woke to stringent laws and changes in the law that the government of India at that time, the UPA government, introduced and brought in very strong anti-rape laws. So let us not undermine that incident. That was a turning point in the history of Indian legal process and how laws were changed.
Okay, fair enough.
This is also it was a very dastardly incident, this one. 2 minors were hanged. They belonged to the marginalized and the poor classes. The worst thing, the police was involved. See, this case is very different and very bad, because here we find that full 2 days, the family was running pillar and post and the police was involved.
No, ma'am, what you're saying we know. We've been reporting this. We have been reporting this, as has all of the media in this country, hour after hour in the electronic media, day after day in the print media. So we know these details. I'm trying to understand the thinking of politicians. Gaurav Bhatia, let me flip this question and ask you this. At least Rahul Gandhi visited. Why has Akhilesh Yadav, the Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh, not gone to Badaयूं as yet?
Vishnu, I would just say this humbly, that it is important to understand that when such a ghastly incident happens, the state government has to perform certain duties, and they are of foremost importance. First is FIR registration. Second is arrest of the accused persons. Now in this case, I've been told today 2 arrests were made, and there was a demand from the family members that a CBI investigation should take place. The Chief Minister was prompt enough to agree to that, and those papers would be sent to the central government and a CBI investigation would take place. There are other things like financial assistance, providing security cover to the members of the family of the deceased. All these steps have been immediately taken. Now you tell me, Vishnu, whether it was the Muzaffarnagar riots or this incident, the administrative representatives of the government, like the senior police officers and the DM and other officers, have visited the family members, and they are in touch constantly with the Chief Minister. As long as right measures are taken and decisions have been taken, should one be politicizing the entire issue, like Miss Mayawati now wanting to go there when she didn't even care to visit the
I agree. Riots? It's being politicized.
And the victims over there.
No, I understand that it's being politicized. I'll come to that. But Gaurav, my question is simple. Mulayam Singh Yadav is a father figure in Uttar Pradesh, right? Akhilesh is his son. He's the Chief Minister. I know that the district administration is doing what they are now. A lot of people would have said they needed to have been proactive on the ground earlier. Be that as it may, what stops Mulayam Singh Yadav from coming over there? What stops Akhilesh from coming over there? What's wrong with that?
Yeah. Vishnu, I will answer your question very directly. Just yesterday, a martyr of our country was there in Kanpur, and the Chief Minister, Mr. Akhilesh Yadav, took out time and he visited the family members of that martyr. He is monitoring the ground situation at Badaयूं on a regular basis, and I am sure the kind of sensitivity that the Chief Minister and Mr. Mulayam Singh Yadav has shown earlier, they have visited number of families when there has been any incident or there has been a soldier who has given his life for the country. I am sure that the Chief Minister or some party senior leaders would also visit. But then I just want to emphasize on the point that it is more important to take important decisions with respect to investigation, with respect to providing assistance to the family, and those are being taken. Now, politicizing the whole thing would not, I think, help as much as these strong decisions would, and those things at least have been done. Now, the larger question of law and order situation, Vishnu, I again want to emphasize there have been many measures that have been taken by the state government, and such incidents are very unfortunate. Therefore, we even need to recruit more police officers. We need to sensitize the police. And just today we heard that the Chief Secretary of the state government has been changed. All these actions would go a long way in improving the law and order situation. I just want to urge one point to the media as well, that subject the UP government to the strictest of scrutiny. But for other incidents of rape or heinous crime against women or citizens of the country, whether it is the Delhi government or the Madhya Pradesh government or other government, they should also be subject to the same strict standard of scrutiny.
Absolutely. 100%. And no one is disputing that, but today we just happen to be speaking about this horrific case.
No, absolutely. We are answerable.
No, absolutely. Every state government is answerable. Every state government is answerable.
In Delhi, on the 27th or the 28th, a minor was raped. The accused persons are absconding from the last
Gaurav, here is the danger. The moment you raise this question and say, look, it's also happening in Delhi, what is the government to do here and what is the government do there, it seems to trivialize what has happened in your own state. Every rape is horrific, every case is terrible.
All I'm trying to say is,
but let's not compare for the sake of scoring political points. Let's not.
We cannot,
right.
And I'm not
so
trying to score any political point.
Right.
All I'm saying is that every rape incident needs to be dealt with swiftly. Justice needs to be given to the family and to the person who suffered this agony.
Okay, Pinky Anand. Okay, Gaurav, let me go across to Pinky Anand. Gaurav, let me go across to Pinky Anand. Pinky, I think the point is there any mechanism or is there any manner in which state governments or police forces or district magistrates can go to communities and actually tell them rape is unacceptable, the assault on women is unacceptable? We criticize state governments, but isn't there a certain social construct, a certain social milieu which exists in parts of Uttar Pradesh where this message is not going across?
Absolutely, Vishnu. I don't think there's any dispute on the fact. The kind of situations that have happened in UP in the last couple of days, which includes 3 major and heinous crimes that have been committed vis-a-vis rape, clearly shows there's something sadly missing in the social ethos. But while saying this fact that we have to basically change communities to believe that rape is unacceptable, it's a heinous crime, it compromises the dignity, honor of a woman as well as of the communities, I think at the same time you do have a certain message that the government is supposed to pass because it is in that position. So instead of Akhilesh Yadav, the Chief Minister of the state, coming forth and saying, don't you feel safe and secure, and asking the people of UP this, and Mulayam Singh said that boys are boys and they will continue to make mistakes, they should not be hanged for rape. I think that is also a message which needs to be looked at rather closely. You can't allow this kind of message from a state government, and people do expect a certain sympathy and a compassion from the state government to understand that they have been subjected to the greatest horror that could have happened. Maybe justice is taking some course and some process is being expedited, but the human touch that is required and the people in authority, the Chief Minister of the state, the father figure of the state, is something who do needs to get close to the people to say, I'm sorry this happened, we will do our best. Not only we will give 5 lakhs, not only the fact that we will start a CBI inquiry. I mean, people don't want that. People want the end of justice.
In fact,
and people want that sympathy and compassion that comes from administration, that comes from government.
There is a question involved here, irrespective of the state.
Gaurav, please, in these kind of cases, these larger questions of boys will be boys and you shouldn't hang them. I think,
you
at this
may
point
have
in time,
an opinion on a subject. I am entitled to voice my opinion.
Try to propagate
I think when we discuss the specifics of the Badayu rape case, we do have to deal with the larger question of Delhi crime, and we have to ensure that the police...
Okay, Pinky and Gaurav, I can't hear either of you. One moment, Pinky, just one moment. Gaurav, go ahead with your point. Go ahead, and Rita Bogana Joshi ma'am, I'll come to you next. Very briefly, your point, Gaurav.
Yeah. Vishnu, with utmost respect to Pinky Anandji, she may have a point of view. I dealt with the specifics of Badayu rape case, but I think there is a larger problem here. The problem is of law and order in all states. It's about gender sensitization. It's about introducing police reforms. And these are certain core issues which are being addressed by the UP government. No, I'm coming to that. I'll give you an example, Vishnu, that the Supreme Court wanted a women's power line. Pinky ji, why are you interrupting me?
Power lines, roads, please, let's not go on to what happens elsewhere. Address what is there in hand.
Pinky, Anand, one moment. Pinky, let him make his point. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah. Vishnu, the point that I was trying to make, that for a woman to even step in the police station and register a complaint was a problem that we saw in the UP state. So
you've not solved that.
The UP government took
when the father of these children,
of
when the parents of these children went to the police for help, nothing happened. The policeman was sitting in the house of the people who had abducted them. And yes, action is
Vishnu,
taken.
As per the FIR,
forget the FIR, please, Gaurav. Stop going by the FIR.
And therefore,
the reality is
the
FIR was not registered.
Pinky ji, why? I think if you want a debate where we interrupt each other and we talk simultaneously, nobody would be able to make any sense out of the debate.
Pinky, he has.
I waited for your
Pinky, he has a point. I will come to you. I will come to you, Pinky, but let him please finish this point. Go ahead, Gaurav.
Vishnu, I was just pointing out that two police officers were also found to be involved, and therefore they were expelled from service, and now an FIR was registered and both of them have been arrested.
No, but we go back to the same point. This is all action that has taken place after the attack has happened, and these two children, their teenage girls, are dead.
So Vishnu, then it brings us to the larger question of how to control law and order, which I wanted to address.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. I can tell you 10 cases in Etawah, and I did yesterday. The heartland of Mulayam Singh Yadav, where this took place last year. Last year in one day in UP, there were 126 rape cases which were reported. You are today talking about action taking place. That's excellent, very good. The girls are dead, the parents don't want compensation. What can you do to tell people on the ground this cannot happen?
Vishnu, these are the strict instructions given by the Chief Minister to all the senior officers, and let me tell you that there has been a government order that is in place from the last 1 year, and that is why we have seen the number of incidents against SC, ST and also against women coming down. I can give you that data. But I wanted to just focus on the measures that the state government has taken to control the law and order situation. The power line is one of them. Then it is about having control rooms in each district with modern facilities like CCTV,
power lines and
patrolling vans.
Roads and what connectivity, is that the answer?
Okay, no, one sec. Okay, all right.
Why not? It is definitely an answer, because you need to improve the infrastructure to control these criminals.
Explain.
You need to keep a tab and you need to be firm with them. You need that investigation completed fast.
Okay, 1 minute, Gaurav. All right, Gaurav, we've listened to what you've said.
This case.
Gaurav, 1 minute. Rita Bahuguna Joshi. Rita ji, go ahead.
See, look, there is a general perception, Gaurav, in UP that this government lacks sensitivity. And there is a perception that they act after the crime is committed. You see, the problem with your government is that your postings are chosen postings. They are favored postings. Every police station has a posting of the choice of a local Samajwadi Party leader. This is not right. If you have a favored posting, they become fearless. And then you send a message that your cadres or people who have their shelter are open to crime. You have to stop this. You have to change your transfer policy. You have to make it transparent. You have to take competence into account. And acting afterwards will not do any good to the state. It's doing good bad to your party,
Rita ji,
to your
I
government.
value your feedback.
See, this is not right. You change your transfer policy.
I assure you
Bring in police
that
reform.
your feedback would be
And
conveyed.
for sensitivity,
And if there is a flaw
advise
in
your
the policy,
CM
it will
or
be
the family
changed.
members to go to Badayu. They must go to Badayu, give a healing touch to the family. You see, I don't think it's politicizing the issue. If politicians are going, they're going to show a marginalized community, a caste, that we care for them. I think all political parties across board should try to curb these incidents and come together to to support. See, the women are so endangered now.
Okay.
They can't move. This is how the things are coming to a pass.
Okay.
So I think the major problem is postings. Major problem is the transfer policy of this government.
Pinky Anand, do you believe there should be senior BJP
I
leaders as
respond to
well
that, Mr.
who should visit? That some sense of succor must be provided. The BJP has done so well in Uttar Pradesh recently. Do you believe more senior leaders from your party should go?
By all means, senior leaders should go, but more importantly, it has to be the state government who is standing as a father figure, as you rightly said, A, and B, instead of saying we are flashing money or we are throwing money as compensation, which the family doesn't want, the people of that state do desire and want that fatherly figure to represent to them a figure of compassion, a figure of caring, and not Akhilesh Yadav making a statement and saying, are you safe, are you secure? Nobody can possibly in these kind of situations give that kind of statement, Vishnu.
Gaurav, last.
No, let me say
yes,
that,
Gaurav,
Vishnu,
go ahead.
Yeah,
yes.
Mr. Akhilesh Yadav never said that, you know, if you are safe in context of Badaयूं rape case. Let me clarify that. And also let me tell you that the Chief Minister was quick to say that investigation would be expedited in this very case, and also that a trial in fast track court would take place. Then there was a demand of the CBI investigation that also has been accepted.
No, but Gaurav, we've listened to what Akhilesh Yadav. We've listened
10 minutes to go down to
Gaurav, one moment. Gaurav, we've listened to what Akhilesh Yadav said yesterday. There was a reporter who asked him, these incidents are taking place, what are you doing? He told this reporter, you're safe, aren't you? In a situation like this, in an environment like this, isn't that remark insensitive and flippant?
No, Vishnu, in that very session, when he was asked about the Badaयूं rape case, he was very particular and he had mentioned all these things which I have already mentioned on your debate.
Yes.
I just want to say this, that here is a Chief Minister who is sensitive to the needs. If one line is taken out of context and replayed and played, and meanings are attributed to it,
why should a Chief Minister have told a female reporter, are you safe, aren't you?
Alright, it wasn't a female reporter. It wasn't in fact a female reporter, Pinky.
That we provide.
It was a male reporter, just to put the record straight, it was a male reporter. Nonetheless, the remark a lot of people would say was flippant. It comes a few months after Mulayam Singh Yadav made those remarks. If you're talking about sensitivity, Gaurav, surely sensitivity needs to be there from top to bottom.
It definitely needs to be, Vishnu, and it is being shown by actions. Our top priority is to ensure that justice is given to the family members of the deceased, and second, the law and order.
And that's why Mulayam says that boys
so that
make
even
mistakes.
the media starts highlighting that the crime graph in UP has come down. That is a priority. I value the feedback given by Rita ji. I will definitely pass it on to the leadership so that if there is any flaw, then it is corrected.
All right.
You have three major incidents happening in all these three places, Badaयूं, Etawah and Azamgarh, and you say the crime graph is coming down. Mulayam makes a statement. Mulayam, now please Gaurav, hear it out. Gaurav, hear it out. Gaurav, want to hear out something in response. You can't have a single-minded
give me a solution that we can work on. If you have any constructive suggestions, please, you can share them with me, and I would ensure that action is taken on them. But just don't criticize for the heck of it to gain some brownie points.
And say, boys will be boys. That is demeaning womankind all over, not only in UP. Akhilesh should turn around and say you are safe in a context where there have been rapes. People want compassion and not your 5 lakhs of compensation.
By Mr. Mulayam Singh Yadav.
Don't speak simultaneously.
Alright, Pinky and Gaurav, we are out of time, but I just have to say that my initial question remains unanswered, and my fear is that there are no answers on the ground. How do you prevent these rapes taking place in areas where the culture of rape seems to be so well entrenched? Gaurav, you say your government is taking a lot of action. I don't doubt that for a moment. But how do you stop this before it actually takes place? That's what needs to be pondered, I believe. Thank you so much,
don't talk
all of you.
Afterwards, talk, do something before.
Thank you so much for joining us this evening.
Thank you, Vishnu.
Thank you so much indeed.